Good evening, everyone. Welcome to night one of our 12 Days of Christmas. We're going to be giving away one of our first prizes tonight, and we're going to be talking to Casey here. Good evening, Casey.
Hello and happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, thank you for taking a Thursday night to come on out when you could be watching the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, let's face it.
I'm a Cubs guy. World Series. Baseball's over.
February
25th, we start again. So who's counting?
Yeah, no, not counting at all.
Yeah.
So today, gang, what's going to happen tonight? What we're going to do is we're going to chat a little bit. Casey and I will. We're going to be giving away tonight.
A new car.
A new car. That's right.
The Jockey News van.
The little
1978 Chevy down by the river.
And it's white, and it's it'd be that creepy thing that you go drive past a school, and all of a sudden 3 police cars are following you. It's great.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
But we're going to be giving away tonight. As our prize for tonight is some music downloads from Promo Only. And then for those of you who are in the chat room, at a point in time tonight, we're going to basically kind of stop our conversation, and we're going to do a special drawing for those of you who are in the YouTube chat room. We've got prizes we're going to be doing each and every night for those of you in the chat room. And it is possible for you to win more than once. So if you happen to win tonight in the chat room and you're there again tomorrow night, you could win again. There's no limitation to it. We're not going to be that way. So if you're watching us on Facebook, there should be a link somewhere, I believe. And this is, of course, KoKoruz night. So just go there and come over and join us over on YouTube. So yeah, this should be good. This should be fun. And of course, you've got right above our heads, Casey, I don't know if you can see it, but we've got this really nice little swag going of bells and ornaments and such, making it festive.
Got it.
So,
I have cough drops because 'tis the season. That's where I'm at.
That's what I've got here too. Is cough drops.
There you go.
Is the number of times that we've been in the middle of a conversation, all of a sudden it's like full screen, other person. I gotta get a cough drop. So So you guys, if you have any questions in the chat room here on YouTube, please put those in there because we're going to be answering questions. This is kind of more of an informal chat. We're just going to be going around and taking tangents and following down rabbit holes and just having a time to chat and answer questions. But Casey, the way I wanted to kind of start tonight is this is the time of year where I put a lot of time into thinking and kind of imagining, where I want to be in 2017 as we evaluate 2016 to move forward. So let's kind of start off by giving some ideas and tips of what DJs can do now or what they maybe should have done, but what should they be working on or thinking about to get into 2017?
Well, as your readers will see, Mike Walter. When do we go live with the new publication?
It went this morning. It went out this morning. Yep, and it's mailed today, so it'll be hitting mailboxes next week.
There we go. Well, the digital download's there, and Mike Walter hit it best that holiday parties are not what they used to be, which isn't a reason not to go to work, because let's face it, people are in Christmas mode now. They've kind of turned their wedding brains off and that. So it's not a reason for you to also wind down, but in my opinion, it's a great time for you to reboot. And whether that means retooling your logo, retooling your website, rereading your website, paying attention to your social media, taking this downtime to do some blogging, whatever it might be, this to me is a great time for you to make a list of everything going on in your business and take a look at it and say, is this the best that it can be? Or can it at least be a little bit better? Even if it's not as best, can it be better than it is? We're in the process of relaunching KeithChristopher.com for that exact reason. So we're scaling back a lot of the text that we have in there, changing images, just giving it a fresh coat of paint, so to speak, and it's a total reboot.
No, but that's not that old of a website. You what is that, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, a little bit longer. I hate to be, I'll be honest, we're not responsive, and it's a big, big problem. All of my other companies' websites are responsive, but Keith Christopher, it's kind of like the cobbler's elves, or the cobbler's children have no shoes.
Yep.
Keith Christopher was like the last one. So that I just sent the final revisions to my webmaster, and he's supposed to be punching in. We should be live any day now with new pictures, new text. And I'll tell you, even on that subject, it was really interesting with responsive websites. If there's too much text, today's bride is not going to read War and Peace, no matter how captivating you think you are. She's just not going to read it. So it's a matter of really scaling back to say, what points am I trying to make about my DJs, about my lighting, about my, cocktail or entertainment or what have you. So again, it's always about consistently growing and changing and such. So this is a great time of year, again, to be company ready in your business. So, maybe if you have an office, put a fresh coat of paint on the walls, freshen up the pictures, do what you got to do, because I would imagine January 8th is going to be, it's when it's going to hit. All the bridal shows are going to start and the magazines will be out on the street, and you need to be ready to make that money.
And that was going to be my next question, is when that deadline, January 8th. And so it gives a person kind of an idea in their head.
The way it falls, January 8th is the first big bridal show weekend of the year. That's going to be that weekend, and the following weekend are going to be your two really big weekends, depending on what market you're in. With my own bridal show company, we start on the 8th, and then we go 3 weeks straight with shows, and then we take a break. We've got 2 in February, 2 in March, and then we actually take a break for it'll be April and May, and we come back in June. So, but yeah, those first 3 months, I call it bridal Christmas. That's where you're going to make the majority of your money, and that's where you have to have your focus. And if you're not ready, trust me, your competitors will be.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. And that's why we want to have this conversation now, because there's still time to do that. You mentioned earlier looking at evaluating, of course, you mentioned website, but before that you mentioned logo. And I thought that was kind of interesting, is because, we spend a lot of money getting a logo designed, and how often, should a person change that up if they've got something good, or is it just something to evaluate on today's?
Here's the problem. We become emotionally attached to our logo, okay? And we become emotionally attached to our company name and our brand. But if you look at the most successful companies, Pepsi's always evolving. They're not using the same logo they had. They're always evolving. Nike is always evolving. All of these companies are always evolving. And so I don't think you should be afraid of it. And the beautiful part is, with the amount of graphic design available to you now online, locally, all over the place, you can put out to multiple online services that you're looking for a new website, colors, what have you. Give them your old logo, tell them you want to redesign, and you'll have 15 different people bidding on it, and showing you what they'll do for you, and then you can choose to accept it. So you can say you'll spend $200 on a new logo. You may have 15 graphic designers through a website like Fiverr, or there's a bunch of them. I'm really lucky. I have a designer I've worked with for years that has been able to help me evolve consistently, and I'm on the phone with him pretty much daily with all of our companies, so it works out great. But there's a lot of inexpensive ways for you to get a fresh look all the time. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be afraid to change. I really wouldn't.
And being in a lot of the things in our industry, we are a one-time hire. I wonder if it's as important for us to have that consistent logo as it is maybe for some others.
I think your name, and I used to be such a freak about about your phone number. Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, if you remember back in the day when a lot of us older guys were doing yellow page advertising, and the bill was tied to your phone. Oh my God, if you didn't pay the phone bill, or if you didn't pay your yellow page ad. But today, I don't even know if anyone even gets a phone book anymore. Everybody just Googles whatever they're looking for. So I think that as long as you have your company name and your website easy to find, you can consistently update your logo, and I think it's only going to benefit you, to be honest with you.
I would agree. I think that you have to be, again, looking at that demographic and seeing what's going to catch the eye with where we are today. Because what catches 21 to 25-year-old brides today isn't the same thing that caught her eye 5 years ago, 10 years
Right.
ago.
And, let's give credit where credit's due. Jason Janai is, in my opinion, he's about the best there is in the branding business.
Yeah.
His going from Sound Connection Entertainment to the SCE event group and having a similar and constantly updating and changing his vibe so he's always on top of it. I tip my hat to him. I think he's great at it.
Yeah.
I think he just is ahead of the curve all the time.
Yeah, he has been just fabulous with that. Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought because we were talking about that.
Talking about logo.
Talking about
refreshing.
Logo.
This would also be the time of year I can interject while you.
Yeah, go ahead. It'll come back to me because once you mentioned Jason, I forgot.
Yeah. Well, this would be the time of year that it's time for you to start deciding on what bridal shows your company should be participating in and preparing for. And I love all kinds of media. I'm a huge social media nut. My social media following with our companies is 100 to 200,000 a week. And even that being said, my favorite type of marketing in the wedding industry is bridal shows. Not because I own a bridal show company, but because I feel that it's the safest investment for a vendor, regardless of the category. You have the ability to create a small little mobile store, okay, design it, have it out there. You can sit there and schmooze the brides to death, create that rapport, get a good impression with them, collect their information, do the follow-up afterwards, get a list from the show promoter of maybe some of the brides that didn't even come by your booth, send them postcards, send them emails. It just, to me, it's a money machine. It's like a slot machine that just keeps paying and paying and paying. And again, you've got brides getting married that need you right away. You've got brides that just got engaged that'll need you in 6 or 8 months. So you can constantly keep working that list. And whether you're an independent and you choose to be a sniper and you look at that list and you only pick the dates that you're open, or if you're a multi-op and you're hitting them hard, or if you're being selective and trying to fill your calendar in the winter, there's so many options available to you that I absolutely positively love doing bridal shows. I always have and I always will.
Do you find that you do well with the face-to-face sales, and that's why the bridal shows?
No, without question. I'm a schmoozer. I love talking to the whole bridal party. I love talking with the bridesmaids. I love talking with the moms. I love hearing what the bridesmaids think they're going to dance to in a year, or talking to them about the weddings they've been to, and just overall just having fun with them.
Right.
It's a great atmosphere. Everybody's always excited. So as long as, what just happened? Did I lose you?
No, we're still here.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I must have hit a button and your camera went away. So what? I just love the whole atmosphere. People are happy. They're excited. It's a rite of passage for some, and of course you have some that are a little snooty and some that can't just be honest and they have to. Okay, that's fine. It's okay. It's fine. My children will eat someday. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have children, so that's that. But yeah, no, I love the atmosphere. People are excited. They're fun. The moms can't wait, and it's just a great time. I love schmoozing with them. So,
and gang, you'll notice that I talked about face-to-face sales with that, and KC talks about connecting, being there, having fun with them. He didn't say anything about sales or about just being there, being present, and being fun and having fun with them. And that's
it's funny because they might go to some of these big shows at a convention center. There's 100 people, so we sell personality. John sells John Young. Casey sells Keith Christopher. Mike Walter sells Elite Entertainment. And what stands out? You do.
Yeah.
Are you the person that they remember? So when you pick up the phone and say, "Dear, hey Susie, it was great to meet you Sunday," she really does remember who you are. Okay, and since we sell personality, that's it. It's interesting. We sell the invisible.
Yeah.
We can have as many videotapes and lights and speakers and whatever, and it's all part of the show. But the fact of the matter is, unlike a caterer that you can taste their food, a photographer where you can see their work, we're selling a concept that we're going to do an amazing job for them on their wedding day, and they either going to buy into it or they're not going to buy into it. And part of that really comes down to our personality. It's like they say, know, like, and trust.
Yep.
The first thing is that they have to like you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then hopefully you'll follow up with them and they'll learn to trust you and you'll learn their business. So that's that.
Remember what my question was from earlier, what I wanted to go. So after the bridal show is actually good, because so back in the day you mentioned Yellow Pages, and you mentioned today, of course, bridal shows are your favorite spot. But what are other areas where people are finding DJs now that they're looking for? If they're going to be doing an event at this venue and they don't have a DJ, are you seeing any trends or things that have changed from, again, the day of the Yellow Pages when we just knew if we were there, had a big ad, we were going to get found?
That's part of it. And I come from a different school of thought. I was very fortunate. I became friends with a local tuxedo company here that ended up selling to David's Bridal for millions of dollars. But what they taught me was that getting control of the situation was key. And what I mean by that is this. If you can get names of brides to be from various sources such as advertising in the wedding magazines, there's some companies that you can buy names from. You can obviously get them from your bridal shows. You can be proactive in getting your message out to them on a regular basis. So I've always been a fan of being polite, being proactive, and being professional. So I always sent out beautiful postcards. We always telemarketed with pretty much a script, but the point was that we knew exactly what we were saying, so we had a consistency. And the thing was, we just kept hustling.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm not better than any other DJ there, okay? The reason I make more money is because I show up to work every day, okay? What was it? Woody, I can't think of it. The director, I'm having a
Woody Allen?
Woody Allen.
Yep.
Woody Allen said sometimes 80% of life is showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
The Rock even said, be hungry and always be he has a quote where he says, always be the hungriest guy in the room. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I want that business more than most of my other competitors. And as a result of that, I'm going to get it. And I'm not going to do it by undercutting people. And I'm not going to do it by, cheating people or what have you. I'm going to do it just for doing hard work. That's really what it comes down to. You see people that are in incredible shape, it's because they do the calisthenics, they do the cardio, they do the weight training, they eat the right food. It's the whole balance of everything that puts them into that shape. And it's the same thing with us with business, And so from a proactive point of view, right about now, the other thing that I've seen, and I kind of got tongue twisted here, was referrals are huge.
Yeah.
Ultimately, today's millennials want referrals from other millennials. So this time of year, one of the best things you can do and the least expensive things you can do, you can go to the dollar store and go buy Christmas cards and send everybody you worked for this year a Christmas card, because very few people are doing it anymore.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Drop a card in the mail wishing you the best on your first Christmas or Hanukkah or holiday season together. Sincerely yours at Acme Widget DJ Company. And throw a couple of business cards in there, okay? Because December is the highest engagement month of the year. 11% of all brides are getting engaged in the month of December, and then follow that up with Valentine's Day. December, January, and February are the biggest quarter of the year. So you want to make sure that the people that love you have access to your cards, have everything right there. So from that, again, make them your spokesperson.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's that.
You made a very good point there, where you say millennials like referrals, and they like them. And I've found this true in my recent experiences here, not only in the wedding world, but even watching my children and their acquaintances. Millennials will respect another millennial's opinion much more than they will someone who's 10 years, a Gen X or any really. And that's such an unusual thing, because there's times where, that we'll look and say, hey, you know what, this person's more knowledgeable in this, and I'll go to an expert who's probably 20 years older than me and ask them a question about, now how do I do this? How do I get this window to fit better? Mm-hmm. Millennials, no, they're going to ask each other, which is sometimes could be the blind leading the blind.
Could be.
I went there.
So,
but
no, it's true. Listen, with politics and everything else, there's no question that millennials are being given a hard time, some of which they deserve, some of which, unfortunately, is what society created for them. And that's just the way that it is. But the fact of the matter is, there are clientele, from about the age of 13 right now to I think it's 34. So if they're 13 now and the average bride is 29, you're stuck with millennials for the next 16 years. So you better understand their mentality and how to serve them to the best of your ability. Okay? Otherwise, you're done. So you're out of business, and that's just the way that it is.
Very, very true. Very true. Gang, we're going to take a little break here, and we're going to do our drawing for tonight. We are giving away, we've got some download DVDs. Basically, what these are, the specialty discs from Promo Only. And those particular discs, you can get them through their pool, which is their download service. You can go and set it up where you can be buying video, you can do audio, you can do video and audio, you can get everything they have. And it's a monthly fee. I'm
a member.
I'm a member. I think I pay $50 a month for that, which is kind of a common. And I get all of my music videos from Promo Only. And every week there's more things there. It's a great service. PromoOnly.com if you're not there. For music videos, I think they are one of the best sources out there. I don't know if anyone even can get close, especially with their back library. And you're going to be getting the specialty discs, which are their back library. So it's about $125 value. And our winner for that, and then we'll do the chat room here in a little bit here. I don't want to do that right away. Our winner is by request Music Services, and that is Kevin Armstrong from Northgate, North Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kevin, depending upon where Kevin's at, he might be not able to watch this because he might be under 2 feet of snow, because it was like 3 days of snow up there. So yeah, Promo Only Pool is just, it's an awesome thing. That whole world from what it used to be, Casey, when we used to get the discs in the mail. And
I remember I signed up for the first one. I remember when they were at the DJ Times Los Angeles show, and Jim and Pete were hustling that first CD.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
So, congratulations, Kevin. I will try to get an email off to you and get things set up so we can get you signed up with that. So, thank you very much. Tomorrow night, we've got I believe we've got Top Hits with their music service. And we've got the whole list. You can go check that out, actually, out on my Facebook page. Actually, yeah, I should look at that right here. Yes. No, Saturday night's Top Hits. Tomorrow night we're giving away Mobile Beat Las Vegas passes, full passes here. We're going to have a couple of those to give away. We've got Mitch Taylor on, and then Saturday's more music for you guys. But you can check that out. We'll put that on discjockeynews.com, or you can go out to discjockeynews.com/12 Days of Christmas to sign up if you're not signed up. And we'll be doing sign-ups right up through, so you get a chance to win some of the big things at the end. We've got the Newmark controller. We've got light shows throughout the whole 12 days. Awesome. And then we've got our set of EV speakers, and then we've got a set of JBL speakers that are coming up during this contest. So we've got a lot of great things. So make sure you guys get yourself signed up. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about bridal shows, and we've talked about getting kind of the word out, and we talked a little bit about the kind of refreshing our business and such. What about performances and helping the performance side of it? Is there some suggestions or ideas for people who are like, okay, I want to kind of freshen up that aspect of my business?
Yeah. And personally, I think the best investment someone could make is in the 1% Solution DVDs by Randy Bartlett. And he does a great job of pointing out a lot of small things that you can change to make yourself better. Okay, there's no question about it, and I think that he's the best in the business. If you can, I know that he's doing a workshop in Las Vegas with Mobile Beats.
Yes.
So I would strongly recommend that you see him. You can find him on Facebook or Google 1%. Well, who knows if you can find it on Google, but if you do DJ Randy Bartlett, there's no question that you can track him down, and I'm sure that John can post a link to as well. But
Yeah.
he's an incredible talent. The best thing I think you could also do is find someone who can mentor you and can watch videos with you of yourself and pause and go, okay, why'd you say that? What were you thinking when you said this? Okay, look at your body language. I just got done watching one of our videos from our photography division, and I have to tell you, this DJ that I watched, dressed impeccably, light setup was beautiful, was the most monotone DJ I've ever seen in my life. And the worst part is I kept thinking to myself, like, the dance floor was crowded all night. His mixing was fine, but his introductions were just completely flat.
Oh.
And all I kept thinking is this guy with the right tutelage could be amazing. Absolutely a star. And the thing is, I'm sure that bride and groom absolutely loved him because the dance floor was jam-packed. And when he did introduce them, everybody got up. Okay. But again, if we can check our ego at the door, review the video, because video doesn't lie.
For sure.
Even my videographer happened to shoot one of the cameras where he was in the background the whole time during their first dance. And again, he had his coat on, he had his arms crossed respectfully. He was very much aware of the fact that he was in the background. And the only criticism I could come up with for that moment was that he chose to take a couple of pictures on his phone for Facebook or to shoot as a nice email with a thank you or what have you. That's about the only thing I noticed that I don't know that I would have done, but it doesn't make it wrong. It's just a choice. But he did a great job. But again, stuff that he said on the microphone was just, bleh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just so blah. So again, if you have someone that can watch it with you, that's a mentor, that's willing, and you're willing to allow yourself to be critiqued, because that's the other thing. It's very, very tough to be critiqued. But if you ever go to an acting class or an improv class or what have you, the coach will stop you and then automatically go, what was that? What were you thinking? What was going on? And you have to express to them what you were saying, what you were thinking, and then he or she may give you, we'll try it this way or try it that way. If you're open-minded enough to do that, you can be much, much better. No question about it.
For sure. Randy's at DJ, the number 1%solution.com. And if you guys got a chance to check out the Monday show that I did with Randy, he had, first off, some great information. Secondly, is I think he might still let that special. He had a special going on, Black Friday special, and he extended it because of our Monday night show. He was going to end it Monday, but I talked him into keeping it up for the week. So if you guys are interested, pop out there. He had, if nothing else, that 1% Solution DVD, which I paid $100 for, and Casey, I'm sure you paid $100 for when it came out, is $19. So
wow,
yeah,
$19.
The original one, yeah, the before, because he did a version 2 of it where he just updated some of the information or updated some of the video.
Is it the original?
The original, which you and I bought, yes.
So when he was Big Randy Bartlett in the purple banded collared shirt.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
So but again, the content is the same content. They just did a little refreshing of it, and it's probably the best $20 you will spend, except if you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the best $20 you're going to spend in the DJ industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we talked about that aspect. How about setting? Because you in this industry, gang, some people have got a really good business mind, and some people, when it comes to the DJ side, business is like not their forte. Casey is one I would put in the category of having a very good business mind. Casey, if we're trying to set our budget for next year and kind of work the numbers and such, are there any tips you can give DJs on doing such a thing? Because numbers are something a lot of us struggle with.
Well, you need to figure out how many jobs you want to do. You need to figure out what you think your average price is going to be, and kind of go from that point of view. I mean, let's put it this way: if you're going to DJ for a living, or even if you're a DJ part time, I'm a big goal setter. Okay. And I believe in setting goals, and I don't believe that any goal is unattainable. Okay. But let's say that you want to make $100,000 DJing. Okay. That means that you need to sell, if you're $1,000 DJ, you have to book yourself 100 times.
Yep.
Or you need to add a photo booth to it, and then you have to book it 50 times with the photo booth. Or if you have uplighting and global projection, then you add that in. But the biggest thing that I think DJs make the mistake of is that they hope, and not just DJs, but small business owners, and they hope to make $1 million, or they hope to make $200,000, or they hope to do this, or they hope to lose 10 pounds or 15 pounds or what have you. But the trick is to set your goal and then figure out how to attain it. Like I said, if you want to make $100,000 this year and you're an independent mobile DJ, well, then you have to book yourself 100 times at 1,000, or you have to figure out what you're going to add in and work backward. Okay. And then you have to figure out how, if you have a 33% closing rate, that means you need to meet with 300 clients or whatever it might be. But it all comes down to math. Okay. And it's all really simple. Okay. But set your goal and then figure out how to work backward to do it. Okay. 8 years ago, I was broke. I say this all the time. I made a bad business decision. I brought somebody into my company that I shouldn't have, and I lost it. Okay. I'm 3 times larger now than I was then financially, much happier, and I only DJ'd 10 times last year. I love running my companies, but 8 years ago, I was broke. And I mean, broke, like ramen noodle. How am I going to pay for stuff? Broke. Mm-hmm. I remember driving to a client's house on empty. And when I mean empty, we're talking vapors, so much so that if I didn't get the deposit so that I could immediately put it into my checking account, I didn't know how I was going to get home. Literally, I was that broke. Fortunately, they gave me the deposit and I made it home. But every single day, it was just a matter of waking up and going, how am I going to book it today? What am I going to book? And so I went from banquet hall to banquet hall, hotel to hotel, party planner to party planner, kept knocking on doors, and every single day, sending out postcards to brides from bridal shows, following up, hustling, doing everything I can. You can hope and wish for things, but the difference between a dream and a goal is action. Yeah. Okay? Even if you buy a lottery ticket, okay, you can hope to win, but you still have to buy the lottery ticket. You still have to spend $1. And that's where a lot of people go, well, I hope I win, but you haven't bought the lottery ticket. Okay? So the fact of the matter is, put action in it. I think Nike's Just Do It was great, because just get moving, just get going. Okay? And you're going to have a lot of doors slammed in your face. There's no question about it. Okay? But, every failure just gets you closer to your next success.
Yeah.
That's all. So you just keep going and you keep hustling, and that's all there is to it. I mean, if you watch Shark Tank or if you watch The Profit, the thing that you see over and over and over again is people have failed, but they keep going. They keep hustling. Mark Cuban talked about how he used to sell garbage bags door to door. I mean, you do what you got to do. And, DJing, I think, is really easy. We fall in love with it at a young age, and people think we're good at it, and so it starts to happen. But, the fact of the matter is, if you want to make this a business and you're serious about it, you have to hustle. That's what it comes down to. Check your ego at the door, because your ego doesn't pay your mortgage. Okay. So your mortgage company doesn't care if you're the best DJ in the world. They care if you can pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
So you can be the best DJ in the world and be the hardest working DJ in the world, and then have the nicest house in your market. So, and that's the dream. That's the ideal thing. Or create that business that allows you to be home with your family, or your wife, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or whatever your world is. So, but it's all about the hustle. So, and that's what I believe.
When you were struggling and going through that time where you were basically not knowing where the next dollar was going to be coming from, were there times where basically the frustration would set in and you're like, this is just not worth it. I need to go do something else? Because I've heard that from DJs when they're struggling.
There's no question about it, except for one thing, and I just posted a meme of this. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people are that successful people will make decisions about where they're going tomorrow. Unsuccessful people will make a decision based on where they're at today. Okay? Let me tell you, that party that I booked, needing gas money galore, I booked them at full price. Okay? And I knew, like, I'd be calling a friend for gas if I had to, but I had to book them at my regular rate. Okay? That's what had to happen. I couldn't not do it. When I first lost everything and started over again, my initial business plan was to do karaoke a couple of nights a week in the bars for cash flow. Fortunately for me, I had hustled so much that I was able to start doing consultations during the week. And instead of driving to a bar to do karaoke, I was driving to someone's house to meet with them about doing their wedding. And instead of taking a $300 karaoke job, I took a $300 deposit that night.
Nice.
For the client, and then I still had my $1,200 or $1,300 coming in the back end. And then it went from one job to 2 jobs to 10 jobs to 20 jobs to whatever it might be. So, and that's the way that it is. But you know, it's about being focused. And if you're part of a bigger company, it's about sharing your focus with everyone else. You know, I'm very focus driven with my company. All my salespeople know what I expect from them every single week in order to produce for our company, so that our company hits our numbers. Okay. And if they don't hit it, I don't have a mean conversation with them, but I have a conversation on what happened, what's going on. You know, talk to me. And some people just say, like, I made 100 phone calls, or I followed up and emailed everybody we met at the bridal show, and we got nowhere. And then the next day they turn around and go, I got 6 people to call me back.
Yeah.
So that's that. And I mean, I don't want everyone watching to think that all I do is hound people and telemarket and email, and that's not it. But I appreciate all my referrals from my venues. I appreciate all my referrals from my past clients. But I know that I can control my destiny a lot more by being proactive.
For sure.
Where I want to be. So, you know, the good Lord's going to give you what he's going to give you, but you have to go out and hustle for the rest.
For sure. And I know we've got a few people in the chat room now. We've had the conversation, you know, of how they do their business, and the referrals, of course, is a huge one. And that many in the chat room right now have talked about that they live off referrals. But there's a time, and you've experienced it, I've experienced it, where you get to a point where all of a sudden there's this attrition factor that I'm being seen. My weddings this year, my largest one was 200 people. My one this last weekend was 40 people. That you get seen with smaller weddings, and different things can happen to you beyond my control. I could have a full calendar, but if my calendar for the month of June is this group of people are from out of the area, this was a small wedding, this group of people, they were the last ones of all their friends to get married, and you know, things like that can happen, and your referral list, as good as you are, can go down. So, Casey, what you're saying about hustling and being there and doing that and having control of your destiny is so critical, I think, for DJs.
Right. Listen, the sad but true part is I love DJing and I love DJs, but we're not exactly the most hustling guys in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't mean to speak ill of DJs, because I love them and I meet thousands of them speaking all over the country and on that. But when you talk to them, you ask them what they're doing, and no one says like, I hustle and I do this and I'm a member of NACE and I'm a member of ILEA and I'm a member of my Convention and Visitors Bureau. But if you talk to your local printer, they're going to talk about how they go to 3 networking events a week and they do this. And the fact of the matter is, we're in a competitive world now. I mean, much more so than we were 25 years ago when you and I started doing this.
Yep.
Where, I mean, I have friends that still talk about, you talk to John Raz, for example, he'll tell you that he had to convince the Yellow Pages to put the term disc jockey in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, phone booths are gone. Payphones are gone. Superman has no place to change anymore. I mean, that's just the way that it is. Things have moved on, and it just is different. And just like every other industry in America, the wedding industry is saturated with lots of good people, lots of bad people, lots of average people, and that's it. So, I mean, you just have to hustle to carve out your piece of the pie. And you know what? If you're not going to hustle and you're in the Chicagoland area, I'm going to take your money. I mean, that's just the way that it is. It's nothing personal, but I'm here to help. I'm the president of the ADJA here, but doesn't mean that I still won't take your money. If you're not going to service that customer, I will happily do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Casey, we had a question here. I'm going to try to get to a couple of questions here. Rick asked, first off, do we sell with shorts on?
It's a little bit cold.
Yeah, this is Minnesota and Chicago. Come on now.
Yeah.
We save that for the summertime.
I'm not interviewing a celebrity. John's not a celebrity.
Yeah, so we got pants on tonight.
Yeah, I've got my Reebok pants on. I still got flip flops on, which will be good until first snowfall. But yeah, no shorts today.
But Rick's real question: how do you feel about BNI groups, networking groups?
BNI groups are good within the industry, and this is a tough thing. I think that the vendors you associate with are kind of like dating. Okay, if you have to find a photographer, for example, that you are gonna believe in, that believes in you, and that will proactively hustle to promote you and your brand. They will stop and ask their client, "You still need a DJ? Because I've got this great guy named John Young who'll do an awesome job for you. And if you'd like to, I'll be happy to pass your information along to him." And then he emails you saying, "Call Jane Doe. I've told her all about you," and then you have to do it. And you have to reciprocate the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Traditional business BNI groups, I don't think are beneficial in major markets. In a small market, it may work, but when only 1 to 2% of the population is engaged to be married and or having a bar mitzvah and or in charge of their company holiday party and or in charge of their school dance, I would rather you spend that time visiting banquet halls, visiting hotels, putting that time somewhere else, writing a blog on your website, than being with a BNI group. If you owned a pizza place, if you were a printer, I'd tell you BNI groups are great because there's more mass appeal in the business. Mm-hmm. But I would create your own BNI group internally that way. Scott Favor's got an awesome group that he calls the Event Ensemble.
Yes.
And he does the hustle. He's the organizer of it. He invites thousands of people to come have breakfast. He is the ringmaster of the circus, and he earns a ton of referrals. But again, he's a hustler. He does the work. There's no question about it. He spoke to our Chicago chapter, and I volunteered to drive him to and from the hotel. And I learned more from and about him in the car rides to and from and over dinner than after having him speak at all. Seen him speak and seen him on your show and other shows, because he's just a hustler. He's just a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to help people get business, and he wants to earn business. So if I was to do a BNI group, I would try to create a group or just network with a handful of people that I believe in, that believe in me as well. And that's honestly how I ended up buying my flower shop and buying my photography studio, because I had that kind of relationship with the previous owners, and it led to me buying them.
Cool. Let's see, we have more here. Reggie asked about, and I'm going to tweak his question a little bit. He was asking about, do you take a laptop along when you're doing, when you meet with couples?
I don't. I have a PDF. It's like 6 or 7 pages. That's got photographs of everything that we do. And, you know, I don't believe in demo videos. And the reason for it is I think that brides are too literal. I can show them a video of a jam-packed dance floor with country western music playing, and the bride will go, yeah, but I don't want country western.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it wasn't that I'm a country western DJ, because I'm not. I'm just showing her an example of a wedding where I abided by the bride's preferred playlist, jammed that dance floor all night long, did exactly what she wanted, and here's her evaluation showing what a great job we did. And she's going to look at me and go, I don't want a country western DJ. That wasn't it. So I prefer not to even go down that road. I'd rather ask a lot of open-ended questions in the beginning, find out what her crowd's going to be like, find out what kind of a day she's dreamed of, and then be able to build it for her. And not lie to her, but really say, okay, so you're having it at this country club. I know the venue. You're going to cocktail here. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Tell me about what you thought of. Listen to that, and then build what she wants so that she has exactly what she wants. That make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. And I agree with you completely, because I was a huge one. And that's the reworking of my personal DJ website is headed that direction. Yeah. Cutting down the text, for one thing. Getting taking some of the demo video things off, even some of the pictures from some of the events, because there's things that almost become more negative or turning people, I don't want that. I don't want that. Right. Instead of trying to basically get that idea across, that we can help create your dream and your idea and what you want. Let's sit down, find out what you want, and put it together. So it's customly you.
Right.
Let's see, just trying to see if there's any other question here that somebody was asking. Mike Duncan was asking, when you start out with the competition, and how do you get out there and sell yourself, and basically the start of your biz. Mike, that's a huge area.
No, because ultimately it's going to come down to one thing, Mike. Mike, you're going to sell you, okay? And that's that. You have to get people to know you, like you, and trust you, okay? And you know what? Just keep knocking on doors. And like Mark Cuban sold garbage bags door to door, keep knocking on doors, keep talking to people who could refer you, find out what you can do for them and how you can help their business grow. Because in order to get, you have to give. And sometimes you're not going to get in return. And that's just a lesson learned. But I'll tell you, the best relationships I have and the strongest referrals were because I offered something in advance. And it could be as simple as I never, ever walk into a venue empty-handed. I always have pastries. I always have chocolates. I always have goodies. And half the time it could be, John, my staff loves working here, and I just wanted to say thank you. Here are some cards if you're interested, and here's a whole tray of cookies for your staff. Have a great day. Okay? And that's it. And I mean, not to put down the catering industry, but the real fact is, they don't know a good DJ from a bad DJ. They don't know a JBL system from a Bose system. They don't know if your battery-operated uplights are better than mine that plug in the wall. They don't know. They know if John is a great guy and is easy to work with.
Very much. Okay? Yeah. True.
I got on a preferred vendor list years and years ago because I would get there really early, set up, and then I would play music for the wait staff as they were setting the tables. And that was it. Mm-hmm. I'd pop in some CDs with some cumbias merengue, because this particular venue had a lot of Hispanic. And the catering captains thought it was great that I was just fun and up-tempo. And then throughout the course of the night, I was easy to work with. Was I the best DJ that's ever walked through their door? No. But I was nice. I was easy. I was friendly. So, Mike, just keep knocking on doors. Show them what a great guy you are. Don't tell them how great you are because they don't care. Talk to them about how you're going to make their life easier, how you're going to work with their staff in order to make it a great day for their clients. That's all they care about. You can be the best DJ in your town, but they don't care. They care about how you can help them.
Cool. I think that great advice, that idea. Because I was, when you were mentioning knocking on doors, and I wanted to, but you covered that also, that it's those other people and how you can help them. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We got a couple minutes left, and then we're going to wrap things up. Casey, can you pick a number between 1 and 20?
62
Thank you.
or 18.
Okay. And right there. Okay, so we're going to give, right here, I've got our person who's going to win our DJN TV. Now they can get their choice between either Disc Jockey News. We've got the DJN TV T-shirts that we got a new batch that are being printed up now that I can actually see to do the order. Or if they want to do a 1-year subscription to the Disc Jockey News for free, they can do that. And our winner for that is, I'm just counting up here, is Fly Robin. Robin, what I'm going to need you to do is message me on Facebook and let me know if you want to do the T-shirt, and if so, what size, or if you want to do the subscription, the print subscription of the Disc Jockey News. And then we will get you set up for that, for being on the live chat tonight as our little live chat winner. And if you're watching this and you want to be involved with that, tomorrow night we'll be here 11 more nights after tonight. So good stuff. Casey, before we shut down, if we've got someone who is, again, we're going to go back to kind of Mike's situation, someone who is new, they're excited about this, and they're just starting out. Where should they start with their company to try to take it to get themselves up and running into the wedding industry? I know you're mentioning knocking on doors and such and building that referral, but when it comes to, should they be looking at gear? Should they be looking at performance? I want to kind of look at it from that side.
Well, step one would be you're going to have the gear. Okay, that's that, and I wouldn't go cheap on gear because you're going to replace it. So whether you're spending $5,000 on gear versus $3,000 and putting it on your credit card, spend a little bit more money because it's going to last you a lot longer in the long run. Two, that's on a performance side or on a gear side. Secondly, I would strongly, if you're getting started, I would recommend you work for a multi-op in your area. And you may find you may love being a DJ and you hate the business side of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a lot of great DJs that work for me that they don't want to be a business guy.
Yep.
They just want to go rock the party, kiss the bride goodbye, and not have to worry about whether the bride paid her balance or not, or how many percentage points it cost us for the credit card processing, or they just want to go do their party, and that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I would strongly consider that they pick up Disc Jockey News, because what is a year subscription?
$25.
$25. You're talking about $2.10 a month, like $2. So if you can get one idea out of each episode, like this one on page 8 of this month by this guy, okay, the fact of the matter is for $2, it's a no-brainer. It's a 100% no-brainer. Same thing with, DJ Times. I mean, if you think about it, to get education in this industry, it's so inexpensive. There's no reason, John, you shouldn't have 10,000 people subscribing to your newspaper every single year, okay? You have so much great content in so many different varieties, from performance to marketing to business to customer service, that they'd be crazy not to. I believe in Randy Bartlett's 1%. I think that's a must, because I think that even the most basic DJs can learn from it, and they can start off well, as opposed to having to be retrained going, oh, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
I think that's it. And then the last part of it is, you know what? fail fast, fail often, and learn from it and move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Thomas Edison's got more patents than anybody else. He's also failed more than anybody else. So, and he did all right, so I failed plenty. You've cleared the dance floor plenty. You just know not to play that song ever again.
Yeah.
And that's just the way that it is. Or start to put it together that this ethnicity may not like that song, or this ethnicity works with this, and this age group works with that. And, and that's where you go and you move on from there. So, but if you can work for a multi-op and learn and contribute to their business, I think it's a great marriage. There's no question about it. I started with a multi-op, and I still talk to the guy. He stood up in my wedding. I mean, I'm still friends with him to this day. And we were competitors for a while, but that changed, and that was it too. So that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, no, that's some good advice. Very, very good advice. Gang, thank you guys for watching tonight. If you're watching us out on Facebook, we are the chat we've been talking about. It's on YouTube, and make sure you get the links so you can watch tomorrow night's show. We've got Mitch Taylor that will be going on at 9:00 Eastern, and we're going to be giving away some passes for the Las Vegas Mobile Beat show. So that's pretty cool. And then Saturday music, and Sunday we got a full schedule going up every night for the next 11 nights after tonight. So good stuff. Casey, thank you for being on. I appreciate your insight and your knowledge.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And if you guys
Happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah.
What? Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, and if they want to get a hold of you, they can email you at KoKoruz@discjockeynews.com, and you've got you guys can find that in the newspaper, page 8. You guys, if you go out and check that out, because Keith has got a really cool article about Jasmine and her, can I call it empire?
I wouldn't call it an empire, but
it's pretty
let
cool.
me tell you, and I'll give you the teaser, guys, before we leave. It's a very good friend of mine. She started out doing a friend in college a favor where a dancer didn't show up who was just supposed to pass out glow-in-the-dark necklaces. Okay? She ran to help her roommate from college, fell in love with entertaining, started to grow a multi-million-dollar business, has now purchased a multi-million-dollar building, is putting a multi-million-dollar facelift on it, and is one of the most amazing people you'll ever meet. Sadly, my article just scratches the surface because I could take his entire newspaper to talk about this woman, but I'm only allowed 500 words or so per month. But she is gutting a bar/live event venue, turning it into a raw space, private event space that's going to be absolutely positively amazing. I've seen her architectural renderings. We have in this issue the external that's going to be there. I've seen all the tile samples and everything else. This place is going to be amazing. She opens in April. I believe she's even flying Jason Janai out as a guest DJ for the industry night so that she can enjoy, and she's got all kinds of stuff. So figure about May, we're going to do another follow-up article, and you'll see exactly what the construction was like, what this woman's done, how she's built that business, and she's inspirational. I'm lucky that she's a very good friend, and again, my article doesn't do her justice, but it should get you pretty pumped up for the first of the year.
Yeah, looking forward to the follow-up with that. That should be cool. Yeah. I think we should probably plan a night where we can have her on a live show too. That would be neat too.
That'd be great.
But we'll talk about that more.
Maybe we could do it from her new venue. You could get a tour.
That would be very, very cool.
That'd be very cool.
See what we can put together.
Excellent.
Casey, thank you much. Gang, thank you much. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Everyone, have a good evening. Good night now.
Good night.